A very good morning and thanks for tuning into the breakfast news on Rajya Sabha television. My name is Aishwarya Kapoor and let us start the bulletin with the headlines. Bill seeking to provide death penalty for those convicted of raping girls will vote 12 years passed by the Lok Sabha. Bill which aims at expanding application of DNA-based technology to support and strengthen justice delivery system to be introduced in Rajya Sabha. Congress asks government to convene all-party meeting at the earliest over publication of final draft of Assam's National Register of Citizens. 8-member Trinamool Congress delegation to visit state later this week to assess situation. Assam Gun Parishad demands a deportation of illegals. Prime Minister Modi speaks to Imran Khan after his party emerges as largest party in the recently held elections, hopes that democracy will take deeper roots in Pakistan. PTI chief says India and Pakistan must devise a joint strategy to free people from poverty. US eases export controls for high technology product sales to India, designates it as the strategic Trade Authorization 1 country, says designation acknowledges India-US security and economic relationship. And India to take on Italy in the quarterfinals playoffs of a Women's Hockey World Cup in London. Winner to take on Ireland in the quarterfinals match on 2nd of August. First up, all news from Parliament. It is the second day of the third week of monsoon session of Parliament and Finance Minister Piyush Goyal will lay on the table the supplementary demands for grants for 2018-19 in the Rajya Sabha today. The DNA Technology Use and Application Regulation Bill 2018 will be introduced in the upper house. 2 education-related bills are also slated to be taken up in the Rajya Sabha, that is the National Council for Teacher Education Amendment Bill 2018 and the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Amendment Bill 2018 are listed in today's business. Talking about the lower house, and Finance Minister Piyush Goyal will lay on the table the supplementary demands for grants for 2018-19 in the Lok Sabha. And the lower house is also slated to take up the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2nd Amendment Bill 2018 and the National Sports University Bill 2018, among others, in its legislative agenda today. And the Lok Sabha on Monday passed the Criminal Law Amendment Bill 2018. The bill provides for stringent punishment, including death penalty for those convicted of raping girls below the age of 12 years. According to the bill, in case of rape of a girl under 16 years, the minimum punishment has been increased from 10 years to 20 years, extendable to imprisonment for the rest of the life, which means a jail term till the convict's natural life. And punishment for gang rape of a girl below 16 years will invariably be imprisonment for the rest of the life of the convict. And the time limit for investigation of all cases of rape has been prescribed, which has to be mandatorily completed within 2 months. The deadline for the completion of a trial in all rape cases will be 2 months. A 6-month time limit for the disposal of appeals in rape cases has also been prescribed.
The woman below 12 years of age. Earlier, the provision was 10 years rigorous imprisonment, extendable to imprisonment for remainder of life. Now it has been extended to 20 years of rigorous imprisonment to death or rest of life. That means it is extendable up to lifetime. As long as he is alive, he will remain in jail. If it is a gang rape, the earlier provision was punishable with minimum of 20 years rigorous imprisonment or remainder of life. Now the new provision is punishable with death or rigorous rest of life imprisonment. So this is a very stringent provision.
I rise to support this historic piece of legislation today. These are times when we are confronted with the gruesome reality of an increasing number of innocent children in the country, especially girls, in the danger of losing their childhood to unspeakable violence.
जितने भी कानून लॉ कड़े कर ले, लेकिन जब तक हमारी सोसाइटी, हमारा सिस्टम इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए ईमानदार नहीं है, अकाउंटेबिलिटी नहीं है, तो मुझे नहीं लगता कि हम फांसी को भी लॉ में लेकर आ जाएं। लेकिन जिस तरह से 2 साल, 6 साल, 5 साल की बच्ची का रेप जघन तरीके से होता है, उसका रास्ता सिर्फ लॉ को सख्त करना है।
I speak with a lot of anguish when I speak on this bill. I feel that as a political class, we have failed our women, our sisters and mothers. We wait for an incident to happen which shakes the conscience of the nation, then we bring a legislation.
You are passing such seminal piece of legislation without the standing committee or a select committee having had the opportunity to talk to experts, and there are hundreds of very, very sound experts in this field in this country.
And the Lok Sabha also passed the Homeopathy Central Council Amendment Bill 2018 on Monday. This bill seeks to replace the Central Council of Homeopathy with the Board of Governors. It aims at bringing accountability and quality in the homeopathy education system. The bill was passed by voice vote. It seeks to replace an ordinance promulgated by the President in the month of May. During the debate, the opposition members questioned the ordinance route taken by the government. And Ayush Minister Shripad Yesso Naik replied that there was an urgent need for a law to abolish the Central Council of Homeopathy, whose chief was arrested recently on the charges of corruption.
होम्योपैथी के सेंट्रल काउंसिल के बारे में जो बिल था मैंने वो क्लियर कर दिया है कि एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव जो बिल है उसके बारे में उसको प्रोसीड करने हम निश्चित तौर से आगे जाएंगे और होम्योपैथी को सक्षम करने के लिए ये रूल से और अच्छी तरह से चलने के लिए आयुष मंत्रालय हर रोज अपने प्रयास जारी रखेंगे.
And the Parliament passed the bill for merger of subsidiary banks with the State Bank of India. The State Bank's Repeal and Amendment Bill 2017 was passed with the Lok Sabha approving the amendments sent by the Rajya Sabha on Monday. The upper house had earlier passed the bill with amendments. And on to the other big story. The Assam government on Monday released the second and final draft of the National Register of Citizens with the exclusion of 40.7 lakh out of a total of 3.29 crore applicants. And according to the Home Ministry, the final list of NRC will be published by December, and the process of objections will begin from 30th of August. Here are the details.
The release of the final draft of the National Register of Citizens for Assam triggered a spate of political reactions, with many opposition parties targeting the centre. The Congress asked the government to convene an all-party meeting immediately and inform the opposition on the steps it planned to take to ensure that no Indian citizen is left out.
एक सर्वदलीय बैठक सरकार को तुरंत बुलानी चाहिए बिना विलंब के. बेहतर होगा कल ही केंद्र सरकार उस पर सर्वदलीय बैठक बुलाए और बातचीत करे ताकि सबको सही परिस्थिति से अवगत कराया जा सके.
West Bengal Chief Minister and Trinamool Congress President Mamata Banerjee alleged that centre is playing vote bank politics. She also sought an appointment with the Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh to discuss the issue.
I have shown you the paper. They have the Aadhaar card, they have the bank statement, they have the bank account, they have the identity card, and they are staying there more than 50 years also, so many people. So do you think that only for vote politics the humanity will be isolated and the human being will be isolated?
Responding to the opposition's charges, Union Minister Jitendra Singh said the centre had no role in drafting the National Register of Citizens.
The entire process was carried out under the directions of the Supreme Court, under the supervision of the Supreme Court, and even today the draft is not final. It has been notified that those who have certain inputs to offer or wish to file their claims are welcome to do so. So where does the role of the government come in? Now it is just that the opposition, particularly the Congress party, is trying to politicize the issue and disturb the environment over there.
Assam is a very peaceful state, and we are confident that all sections of society will come forward to maintain the peace and tranquility for all the time to come. And whatever Supreme Court will pass on the direction to us, we'll sincerely follow it, observe it.
Registrar General of India Sailesh said the exercise was carried out in a transparent, fair and objective manner. He told people whose names didn't appear in the final draft to make their claim from August 30th.
2 करोड़ 89 लाख लोगों के नाम शामिल करे गए हैं ड्राफ्ट एनआरसी में। जिन लोग के नाम इस ड्राफ्ट में नहीं आ पाए किसी कारणवश, उनको पूर्ण तौर पे अपॉर्चुनिटी दी जाएगी क्लेम्स एंड ऑब्जेक्शन फाइल करने के लिए, जो प्रतिक्रिया 30 अगस्त से शुरू होगी। हम हर भारतीय नागरिक को पूर्ण तौर से अपॉर्चुनिटी देने के बाद ही फाइनल एनआरसी निकालेंगे।
NRC's second and final draft was published on Monday. It had 2 crore 89 lakh 83,677 crore names. The first draft, published during the intervening night of December 31st and January 1st this year, contained 1.9 crore names in a total of 3 crore 29 lakhs 91,384 crore applicants. Names of 40.07 lakh applicants do not find a place in this document. NRC is being updated to identify illegal immigrants in Assam bordering Bangladesh. It counts as Assam citizens only those who can prove they were living in the state on or before 21st March 1971. NRC was first prepared in 1951 when the first census took place. The list has been updated to include descendants of those in the state in 1951. The process of publishing the final draft was carried out under the direct supervision of the Supreme Court. Panchanan Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the issue of a final draft of a National Register of Citizens for Assam was raised in Parliament as well on Monday. Home Minister Rajnath Singh told Lok Sabha that the list has been published at the Supreme Court's directive and that the centre has no role in it. The opposition, on the other hand, alleged that the list was endangering bona fide citizens.
The second and the final draft of Assam's National Register for Citizens resonated in the Lok Sabha on Monday. Urging political parties not to politicize the sensitive issue, Home Minister Rajnath Singh said in the House that the list has been published on the directives of the Supreme Court and the centre has no role in it. The Home Minister said the NRC list published on Monday is not the final one, and applicants whose names are not in the list will have the option of raising claims and objections.
हायर एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लेवल पर क्लेम्स एंड ऑब्जेक्शंस का डिस्पोजल होगा। पहले तो ये मैं क्लैरिफाई करना चाहता हूं। फिर उसके बाद भी कोई संतुष्ट नहीं होता है तो उसके लिए फॉरेनर्स ट्रिब्यूनल में जाने का अवसर रहेगा अध्यक्ष महोदय, और मैं समझता हूं कहीं ना कहीं तो न्याय मिलेगा ही। इसलिए इस मुद्दे को लेकर अनावश्यक किसी प्रकार की पैनिक क्रिएट करने की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है।
The opposition earlier raised the issue during Zero Hour. The TMC, Congress and CPIM were among the parties that criticized the government over the issue, alleging that the list puts human rights and democratic rights of people at stake. Many members demanded that the government clear the air over the issue.
This thing is happening only in Assam. Where about the other states? So this is matter to be taken very urgently. Question of more than 40 lakhs and 7,760 people are concerned. So I think government will take it up with all priority and give relief to them.
इससे क्या होगा, बहुत से लोगों को डिलीट किया गया और इसमें ये भी है कि वो पर्पसली डिलीट किया गया है, ये भी एक उसमें ठीक है आप हो रहा है। नहीं एक मिनट मैडम, अगर ऐसा हुआ तो ये बहुत बड़ी गलती आप लोग कर रहे हैं और फिर वहां पर एक बहुत बड़ा डिवीजन आप करने जा रहे हैं।
ये बहुत ही संवेदनशील मामला है और आसाम में पिछले कई महीनों से स्थिति बिगड़ नहीं जाए इसके लिए सुरक्षा बल भी तैनात किया गया है। और सबसे पहला तो मैं ये कहूंगा कि धर्म आधारित नागरिकता का सवाल या भाषा आधारित नागरिकता का सवाल लेकर के हम ऐसे छेड़खानी करेंगे तो बहुत फ्रेजाइल यूनिटी है वहां पे। हमारी नागरिकता का प्रश्न है मैडम
और मानवाधिकार का मुद्दा है। ऐसे मामले में सरकार को गंभीरता से कोई ऐसा अनहोनी घटना नहीं होना चाहिए कि जो यहाँ 40 साल से लोग हैं, 50 साल से हैं, 60 साल से हैं, उनके नागरिकता पर हमला नहीं होना चाहिए। मैं यही बात कहना चाहता हूँ।
The second and the final draft of Assam's NRC was published in Guwahati on Monday. Names of 40.07 lakh people have been left out of this final draft. Now Vikram Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And Rajya Sabha proceedings were disrupted on Monday over Assam's NRC issue, resulting in 2 adjournments in the pre-lunch sitting. This was despite Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu telling opposition members that a discussion will be allowed on the issue. Despite the assurance, opposition members continued to protest, stalling 0 hour and question hour.
The upper house witnessed disruptions over the publication of the second and final draft of Assam's National Register of Citizens. Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu stressed that he himself had requested the Home Minister to come to respond to the members' concern. Home Minister Rajnath Singh was present in the House.
Some members met me just now. They wanted to discuss about National Register publication, and I myself have requested the Home Minister to come. I am ready for discussion. I want the Home Minister to respond. I want the Home Minister to respond. I am for discussion. What is it you want?
When the upper house resumed at noon, members from opposition parties like the Congress, TMC and Samajwadi Party raised the issue once again. As the members refused to relent, the chairman adjourned the house till 2 p.m.
House is adjourned to meet at 2 p.m.
When the house reconvened at 2 p.m. after the last adjournment, TMC leader Derek O'Brien demanded a discussion on the notice given by him. Chairman Naidu reiterated that he had called the Home Minister to the House to respond on the issue, but the House was not in order before adjourning the House for 10 minutes.
Whatever I have to say, I said in the morning, I have decided to allow in the 0 hour. I told the honourable members, then I myself took initiative, called the Home Minister. Home Minister all the way came to the House. Neither the members were willing to say anything or allow the House to function. You can't expect me to do Marcus.
When the House reconvened at 2:11 p.m., Derek O'Brien once again demanded a discussion on the issue.
Political issue, sir. It's a question of human rights. It's a humanitarian issue. It's a national issue. Indian citizens, sir. We need to look after Indian citizens.
The House was not in order. I appealed that everyone sit and I called the Home Minister. Home Minister was good enough to come to the House. We could not utilize that opportunity. I assure you, I will give the first opportunity tomorrow morning in the beginning of the session itself.
With the TMC member unrelenting and other TMC members joining him in raising the issue, Chairman Naidu adjourned the House for the day.
The House is adjourned to meet tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the Congress party sought information from the centre on the steps that it proposes to take to ensure that no Indian citizen is left out following the publication of the final draft of Assam's NRC. Congress President Rahul Gandhi said that there is massive insecurity in Assam following the process and that the government must move swiftly to restore it. Veteran Assam Congress leader and former Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi said that 40 lakh is a big figure and feared that most of them are genuine Indian citizens. Meanwhile, an 8-member delegation of the Trinamool Congress will visit Assam later this week to assess the situation in the state in the wake of the publication of the final draft of the NRC. And also, the Assam Gun Parishad of former Chief Minister Praful Kumar Mohanta has said that the centre must deport people who came after 24th of March in 1971 to their original country. Mohanta has spearheaded the Assam agitation against foreigners. And the All India United Democratic Front of Badruddin Ajmal has said that exclusion of 40 lakh people was not a small matter, but everyone must wait for the final list. Let's get to some weather updates now. The Kerala authorities have issued orange alert after the water levels in the Idukki Dam touched 2,395 feet on Monday. Now, code orange is the second level of the 3 alerts issued to warn those living close to the river. Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan said that a team of NDRF has already been deployed in Idukki. Meanwhile, as many as 114 people were evacuated from low-lying areas of Assam's Shivaganga district by the NDRF on Monday. Meanwhile, in Uttar Pradesh, the streets of Kanpur too were waterlogged following rains. Also, all government and private schools would be closed today in Lucknow. And the water level in the Yamuna River in Delhi continues to rise and stays above the danger mark. According to the Delhi Flood Control Department, the river was flowing above 205 meters from the danger mark. The Delhi government has set up a flood control room and round-the-clock emergency operations center to monitor the situation. Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia has appealed to the people living in low-lying areas to move to safer areas. And in Himachal Pradesh, 2 persons drowned in Kinnaur during the Kinnaur Kailash Yatra after heavy rains lashed the town. And bus journey will become easier in the national capital as commuters can now use smart cards meant for metro to travel in all the public transport such as the DTC and other buses. The common mobility card ticket facility will be functional completely from today. Early in the beginning of this year, the Aam Aadmi Party government had launched the scheme on a pilot basis in 250 buses. The Delhi government had also launched an initiative, Connect Delhi, earlier this month in order to provide last-mile connectivity and to make public transport such as DTC and cluster buses, e-rickshaw, RTV mini buses, battery rickshaw and Gramin Seva more accessible and reliable for the commuters. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to the chairperson of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, Imran Khan, who is set to become Pakistan's next Prime Minister. The phone conversation between Prime Minister Modi and Khan took place at 9 p.m. last night. Prime Minister Modi congratulated Khan for his party emerging as the largest political party in the National Assembly of Pakistan in the recent elections and hoped that democracy will take deeper roots in the neighbouring country. He also reiterated his vision of peace and development in the entire neighbourhood. Meanwhile, Khan said that he will take oath as the Prime Minister on 11th of August. Although the PTI has emerged as the single largest party in the National Assembly in the 25th of July polls, winning 116 out of 270 seats, it is short of numbers to form government independently. And the first Nepal-India think tank summit will begin in Kathmandu today to foster greater collaboration and knowledge sharing among the think tanks of the two nations. Former Prime Minister of Nepal and co-chairman of ruling Communist Party of Nepal, Pushpa Kamal Dehal Prachand, is scheduled to inaugurate the summit. BJP General Secretary Ram Madhav will deliver the keynote address. And the main objective of the summit is to strengthen bilateral relations between India and Nepal through multifaceted collaboration among think tanks in both the countries. The summit will have 4 sessions with different themes. The summit is being jointly organized by the Asian Institute of Diplomacy and International Affairs and Nehru Memorial Museum Library. And in a major boost to India, the US has eased the export controls for high technology product sales to it by designating it as a strategic trade authorization 1 country. Now, speaking at a US Chamber of Commerce event on Monday, US Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross said that the STA1 designation acknowledges the India-US security and economic relationship. The designation authorizes the export, re-export and transfer in-country of specified items on the commerce control list to destinations posing a low risk of unauthorized or impermissible uses. Currently, there are 36 countries on STA1 list. India is the only South Asian country to be on this list. News from the UK now. Embattled liquor tycoon Vijay Mallya will return to Westminster Magistrates Court in London today for closing arguments in his extradition trial. After hearing the final arguments today, the court will also set a timeline for ruling in the high-profile case. The 62-year-old former Kingfisher Airlines boss is fighting extradition to India on charges of fraud and money laundering amounting to around 9,000 crore rupees. Vijay Mallya has been on bail on an extradition warrant since his arrest in April last year. And at the last hearing in the case on 27th of April, the London court had confirmed that a bulk of the evidence submitted by the Indian authorities will be admissible in the case, including a detailed set of documents that have been submitted by the CBI. Let's get a wrap of all international news now. Here is the World Wrap. US President Donald Trump said on Monday that he would be willing to meet Iran's leader without preconditions to discuss how to improve ties. Speaking to reporters outside White House, Donald Trump offered to meet Iran's leaders with no preconditions and at any time they want. Donald Trump's conciliatory approach comes after he and Iranian President Hassan Rouhani traded hostile warnings earlier this month. In the month of May, the US left a deal which curbed Iran's nuclear activities in return for the lifting of international sanctions. Counting began in Zimbabwe on Monday in the first election since the removal of former President Robert Mugabe. The election is a two-horse race between 75-year-old President Emmerson Mnangagwa, a longtime Mugabe ally, and 40-year-old Nelson Chamisa, a lawyer and a pastor who is vying to become Zimbabwe's youngest head of state. Zimbabwe's Electoral Commission said that voter turnout had averaged 75%, higher than the last vote in 2013. The official result has to be announced within 5 days. Nearly 700 people are trapped on a volcano on the popular Indonesian tourist island of Lombok after a devastating earthquake killed more than a dozen people there. A rescue operation is currently underway for tourists caught in landslides on Mount Rinjani, an area popular with hiking enthusiasts. So far, 16 people across the island of Lombok have been reported dead following the earthquake, while another 162 have been reported injured. Indonesian President Joko Widodo flew to the island on Monday to meet with the communities affected by the earthquake as emergency aid began to be dispensed to the island. All the sporting action now in the Women's Hockey World Cup. India will face Italy in the crucial knockout match in London today. A victory today will pit the 10th ranked Indian Eves against Ireland in the quarter-finals on Thursday. Now, India placed in Pool B entered the knockout stage after registering two draws, one against England and the other against the US. And the semi-finals will be played on Saturday and the final is slated for Sunday. And that's it from me and my team in this edition of Breakfast News. Thanks for watching. Have a great day ahead.